Alright, so in this video we're going to be reacting to two different videos instead of one. This one right here is called The Law You Won't Be Told by C.G.P. Gray.
On a jury, you know your options, guilty or not. But there's another choice that neither the judge nor the lawyers will tell you, often because they're not allowed to, and also because it might be better if you don't know. This video will tell you that third choice, but be warned, simply watching may prevent you from ever serving on a jury. So this is your last chance to hit the pause button before you learn about jury nullification, when the defendant is 100% beyond a reasonable doubt guilty, but the jurors also think he shouldn't be punished. The jury can nullify the law and let him go free. But before you're on your next jury and yell null booyah at the judge, you should...
So, I don't really have too much to say right now. I haven't seen this video in quite a while, so this is probably like a decade later of seeing it again. So I guess I'm relearning just as much as y'all.
Know that just talking about jury nullification in the wrong circumstances can get you arrested, though a video such
Or I guess if this is your first time seeing it, but you know what I mean.
as this one, simply acknowledging the existence of jury nullification and in no way advocating it, is totally okay. And while we're at it, CGP Gray is not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is meant for entertainment purposes only. Seriously, guy, don't do anything in a court of law based on what an internet video told you, no joke. So why can't you do this? It's because nullification isn't in the law, but exists as a logical...
Yeah, especially since laws do vary from location to location. It's just best to just talk to lawyers. Lawyers you know or trust. I mean, a lawyer in general, but certainly ones that you know are good at their job.
consequence of two other laws. First, the juries can't be punished for a wrong decision, no matter what the witnesses, DNA evidence, or video proof show. That's the point of a jury, to be the final decider. And second, when a defendant is found not guilty, that defendant can't be tried again for the same crime. So there are only two stated options, guilty or not. It's just that jury nullification is when the words of the jurors don't match their thoughts, for which they can't be punished, and their not guilty decision can't be changed. These laws are necessary for juries to exist within a fair system, but the logical consequence is contentious. Lawyers and judges argue about jury nullification like physicists argue about quantum mechanics. Both are difficult to observe, and the interpretation of both has a huge philosophical...
It's not really related to the video topic here, but it is related to quantum mechanics. I got into quantum mechanics quite early. So, I'm currently 28, and I probably started getting into it whenever I was about 11 or 12. Probably about 12, but 11 or 12. There certainly wasn't as much research on it at the time. It wasn't even really known to too many people. Like, it was really hard to explain it to people. Like, ever since I first, learned about the double slit experiment, I was on board from the very beginning. I was like, yeah, there is something to this, and quantum mechanics is one of those kind of topics that go a lot deeper than I think most people assume.
ramification for the subject as a whole. Is jury nullification the righteous will of the people, or an anarchy of 12, or just how citizens judge their laws? The go-to example in favor of nullification is the fugitive slave law, when northern juries refuse to convict escaped slaves and set them free. Can't argue with that. But the anarchy side is southern juries refusing to convict lynch mobs. Not humanity at its best. But both of these are juries nullifying the law. And also, juries have two options for where their thoughts may differ from their words. Jury nullification usually refers to the non-guilty version, but juries can convict without evidence just as easily as they can acquit in spite of it. This is jury nullification too, and the jurors are protected by the first rule, though the second doesn't apply, and judges do have the power to overrule a guilty verdict if they think the jurors aren't the best. And of course, a guilty defendant can appeal, at least for a little while, which makes the guilty form of jury nullification weaker than the not guilty kind. Cold comfort, though. Given the possibility of jurors who might ignore the law as written, it's not surprising when picking jurors for a trial, lawyers, whose existence is dependent on an orderly society, will ask about nullification usually.
Okay, so for me personally, this is way too complicated. But can anyone let me know in the comments, someone actually who knows what they're talking about? Can somebody tell me how accurate this video really is?
slightly roundabout way. Do you have any beliefs that might prevent you from making a decision based strictly on the law? If after learning about jury nullification you think it's a good idea, answer yes and you'll be rejected, but answer no with the intent to get on the jury to nullify and you've just committed perjury, technically a federal crime, which makes the optimal strategy once on a jury to zip it. But this introduces a problem for jurors who intend to nullify. Telling the other 11 angry men about your position is risky, which makes nullification as a tool for fixing unjust laws nationwide problematic. Not to mention about 95% of criminal charges in the United States never make it to trial and rather end in a plea bargain, but that's a story for another time. The only question about jury nullification that may matter in the end is if jurors should be told about it, and the courts are near universal in their decision, no way. Which, again, might seem self-interested. Courts do depend on the law, but there's evidence that telling jurors about nullification changes the way they vote by making evidence less relevant to them, which isn't surprising, that's what nullification is. But mock trials also show sympathetic defendants get more non-guilty verdicts and unsympathetic defendants get more guilty verdicts in front of jurors who were explicitly told about nullification compared to those.
Alright, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pause it here. Okay, so we're already getting towards the end. The reason why I ain't saying nothing is just because all this is just going like way over my head. I'm so lost in this story, so I'll start talking more whenever we get to the second video. I'll have the timestamps in the description so that you have the like you can see where everything is on the timeline whenever you're fast forwarding or rewinding.
Which sounds bad, but it's also easy to imagine situations where jurors blindly following the law would be terribly unjust. In the end, righteous will of the people, or anarchy, or citizen lawmaking, the system leaves you to decide, but as long as courts are fair, they require these rules, so jury nullification will always be with us.
Alright, well, y'all heard it here first, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the second video. So this video is called Why Weed Should Be Legal, featuring Barack Obama. It's somebody playing Barack Obama, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen this one in about a decade either. The video is by Prince Ia.
What's this? Cruise drops out. Bye, Felicia. Oh, wait. That means we're stuck with Trump now. So ratchet. Hey, what do you think, Abe? Me too. Hey, babe. You gotta come see this. Hey, who's there? Joseph Robinette Biden. You better not be playing with the lights.
Mr. President, I come to you on behalf of my generation.
Oh, right, yeah, this is a musical. Again, I haven't seen this in about a decade, so it's gonna be like, it's nowhere near fresh in my mind. But okay, yeah, I do remember it being a musical now.
To talk to you about this little plant situation. See, a lot of politicians hate it, but I'ma break it down and demonstrate to you why it's not as bad as they make it sound. See, you're the president that I believe can handle this. Heck, your campaign slogan was "Yes, we cannabis." Just kidding, but seriously, let's examine it.
Look, I don't get into politics at all, because I don't get into things that divide people, and politics divides people. I'm not saying politics is a good or bad thing, I just do not get involved for that very fact. But if if a president used that for a slogan, that would be so funny. Yes, we cannabis. That's right. Legalize weed everywhere.
Subject truthfully, dog. Look, see, you taught constitutional law at Harvard, right? In '96, well, you should know that.
By the way, for any video that I react to, I will have it in the pinned comment down below, and I'll also have it linked in the description, if y'all want to see the entire video without my commentary.
Declaration of Independence was drafted out of hemp. So was the flag. So were the sails that pushed our ships.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? That the Declaration of Independence was actually written on hemp, but like, I mean, obviously hemp itself is still legal. So I mean, there's two ways to look at it. One, it's not as powerful of a statement, but if you look at it the other way, in the sense that a part of the hemp plant, the marijuana plant, is illegal, that does seem a little, it almost, it's like you're standing for something that the Declaration of Independence, what it truly stands for. You know what I mean? I mean, it is a again, I don't get into politics and stuff like that. I don't even have any education in any of it. But, well, there are some things that I know. Like, I do know that George Washington grew hemp on his own estate. And hemp can do everything that a tree can do. So, like, anything that paper can do, hemp can do, and more. And it also grows faster, and you can grow more of it. So, I mean, it's just, it should be a no-brainer that it should be accepted into that as, like, into that part as well. But also at the same time, to make a plant illegal like that, it's weird to even say that, making a plant illegal. That's so weird. Like, I get if the plant kills somebody, but this, you know, it is like, it does more good than harm. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone should smoke cannabis. I think that some people just, they themselves have no passion or inspiration or motivation or whatever it is, and then they become lazy stoners. But I mean, to make it illegal, that's absurd. Cannabis should not be illegal. It is one of the most natural things on the face of this planet. I mean, it's certainly not as natural as H2O, but I mean, let's still put it in a similar category, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a medicine. And if somebody cannot, if it affects somebody negatively, well, don't go near it. But the majority of people who smoke aren't going to end up like that. Or in the very least, more than half. If not more than half. Something to that degree. But the fact is that there's no reason to make something like this illegal. At all. That is so shady. Like, there's no reason to actually do that unless you have like an ulterior motive.
The path to the colonies. So what's the fuel used for Henry Ford's Model T? So in a sense, you could say that pot has actually driven American history.
Please, it makes you lazy and underachieve.
But how can that be when some of the most successful people smoke weed? From Walt Disney to Milton Fried, from Stephen King to Steve Jobs, the apple didn't fall from the tree. You get it? Steve Jobs, apple, trees, Jobs created the Apple computer. How y'all
Facts. Straight fucking facts.
See, people believe that this plan is sinful. But let's go back in time and find out exactly where these beliefs came from.
I'm not a fan of the ad placement here.
We rely on UPS to get it there.
Master.
The double ad here.
But let's go back in time and find out exactly where these beliefs came from. Cause before the 1930s, you could blaze up, but after the 1930s, things changed up. Cause that's when President Hoover commissioned a man named Harry J. Anslinger as head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. His middle name's ironic, cause he was the main guy attempting to demonize marijuana. I mean cannabis sativa. See, the name marijuana he created as propaganda for the people to make it sound more dirty. And
oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that. I never really, like, I just love the name marijuana. I keep forgetting that is where it came from. It was originally a word to demonize cannabis. But I find it to be such a beautiful name. It's just like Mary Jane. You know, it's such a beautiful name. So I guess in an ironic twist, the name itself ended up becoming something good instead of being something bad. So I guess there's a positive there.
a little more evilly, figured if he could scare the public enough, they would want it illegal. He teamed up with newspapers who had their own motivations.
Like what?
Google Decorticator. The newspapers printed fake stories about how every puff destroys your brain, making you crazy, insane, prone to murder and rape. They use race and then said again that we makes white women want to get pregnant by Negroes and immigrant Mexicans. And based off of no research or investigation, Congress rubber stamped that legislation, and then poof, there was a law around it. So we accepted it and never.
No, you want to know what makes humans want to have sex with other human beings? Having a dick or having a vagina. Period.
Thought about it, but let's get smart about it. Lies and greed are the real reasons that it's illegal, and the reason you got that look on your face when I talk about it.
Mr. E, marijuana's illegal for public health reasons. We don't want the American people breathing that stuff in and smoking it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little game day buzz, but marijuana's a dangerous, useless gateway drug. And you want me...
Yeah, that term right there, gateway drug. I mean, if we're going to talk about a gateway drug, that could be anything from an electronic to caffeine to sugar. But the fact is that that term is... it's not exactly what it sounds like. Like, you don't just smoke weed for a couple years and then think, oh, I'm gonna go shoot heroin into the veins of my dick. No, something has to get you to that point, whether cannabis existed or not. You know, it's like, it's not that you can't be influenced to want to do other drugs by getting high, but that is someone who naturally, like, anytime they find a certain source of stimuli, it doesn't matter what it is, they're always looking to go to the next extreme. That is a personal problem, not a drug problem.
legalize so that the kids can get it easier? Well, what
So in other words, education about all this is very, very important.
can I say? Either that's something to laugh at, or bro, you're more of a jackass than Kanye.
A jackass? Okay. How about we talk about this rationally? See,
I thought Kanye West was a gay fish. Oh, the fuck do I know?
every 6 seconds a person dies from tobacco, and every 13 from alcohol.
Really?
Guess how many died in the last 10,000 years
I
from weed?
know you're gonna tell me.
None at all.
I personally don't have anything against alcohol. I think, let's take the famous philosopher Alan Watts. He drank a lot. But in saying that, he wasn't like going to like the gas station and buying like the alcohol products with a bunch of random chemicals and mixtures in it and whatnot, you know? Like, he was drinking like the good stuff. And I don't think that alcohol is necessarily a problem, but I do think that most people who get addicted to it for the wrong reasons. Like, they're looking to escape reality or to numb themselves or whatever it is like that. It's more about suppression than expression. So someone like Alan Watts, who consumed alcohol and got productive and started just doing what he did in life whenever it came to like studying Buddhism and all of that kind of stuff, right? Alcohol can be used in a positive way. It can be part of a healthy lifestyle. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like drinking a glass or two of wine every night or two. Obviously, everybody's body is different, so I mean, it will differ from person to person, but I think that the average healthy person, that it is okay as long as you weren't consuming alcohol, and it is pure alcohol, or at least like a pure form of alcohol, like some good wine or some moonshine or something. Whatever your thing is. I personally love me some wine, but also love me some moonshine. Anyway, point being, as long as you're not consuming the substance to escape reality, and you are being a productive person, and you're following your dreams or whatever it is, whatever positive thing it is, then I don't think there's anything wrong with consuming alcohol at all. Whatsoever.
A sip, zero, nada, no chance to overdose. Not one case in history, and no, I'm not blowing smoke. Don't be a coward, just...
Yeah, and that's also another, I mean, it's an obvious one. Cannabis has never ever killed anybody. But I do think that is a very, very strong point, besides being one of the main points about why it should be legal. But yeah, it may be a cliche, but it's a very important point.
Regulate and control and take the power from the drug dealers who contaminate, sell it, and own it. See, they love the laws how they are because they make millions. When drug lords support your laws, it's time to amend them. As for the kids, yeah, I'd agree, except it's easier for kids to buy weed than to buy beer or cigarettes. Is that surprising?
A little
Think
bit.
about it, sir. How many drug dealers you know ask the CID? And stop saying it's a gateway drug, something so strong that you can't break away from. Big homie, listen, quit being a politician. Studies show it's not addictive, and the gateway theory's a lot of fiction.
Well, anything can be addictive, even cannabis. But then again, working out, doing your makeup, watching videos on a phone, eating a certain food, really anything can be addictive. I don't think that addiction is a bad thing in and of itself. It is just, do you have healthy addictions in your lifestyle or as part of your life or not? That's the real question. Like, if you are addicted to painting and eating healthy and learning, and you're a businesswoman and you like to vlog, whatever the person wants, right? Then that is what really matters. Addiction in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. Whenever you have a healthy relationship with things that you are addicted to, then yeah, certainly. That can certainly be a bad thing.
Contradiction, and you can quote me on it. You said marijuana was a useless drug? Hold up a moment. Medical tests and evidence show it's proven to treat glaucoma, cancer, asthma, multiple sclerosis. It could do so much if it was legal. But if it was legal, a lot of pharmaceutical drugs wouldn't be needed. I did my research and it seems that...
What? So what did you find
Big
out?
Pharma gave you millions of dollars. So if weed became legal, they would lose a lot of profit. And you would lose funding. So tell me, Mr. Presidential, is it really public health or is it special interest? Are you worried about the kids or the private businesses? Only a few years back, you was against lobbying and corporate robbery. You campaigned for change, well damn it, now demonstrated in policy.
The war on drugs has been an utter failure, and I think that we need to rethink and...
Well, and again, I don't get into politics or anything, but one thing that I have noticed to be a fact is that always happens. Like, I don't even know why anyone's surprised at this point. Like, anyone who ever gets into that position is, like, talking all this good stuff, but as soon as they, like, actually, get there, I mean, everything changes. Like, want to talk about change, well, this is certainly an example of what change can be, and it's not a good change.
criminalize our...
Sounds wild, but I can show you your soulmate's face.
I am so tired of seeing that ad, though this did catch me off guard though. There was one of this dude, and he was like walking around, but like, he was mimicking another ad of this one woman, who she's like, it like does the face thing or whatever, like, come on, we all know it's not real, but like was doing the face thing, right? And like even like the ad itself isn't real, like it's just an actress who's paid to promote it, obviously. But she's like, this looks like the person from my coffee shop. And then there was this dude who was reading the exact same script, so I'm not sure if they paid him to do that, if he like got his way into there to do that joke, or if it was something else. Either way, threw me off enough to actually make me laugh, so I guess props to whoever did that. But anyway, back to the video.
our marijuana law.
Cause if you really want to stimulate the economy and mitigate the problems that emanate from poverty, it's time to legalize this billion-dollar commodity. Harvard professor Jeffrey Myron estimated $9 billion generated in taxes from regulation.
Yeah, I don't remember what year it was, but California raised over $1 billion in tax money alone in just 1 year because of the cannabis industry. So for anyone who says it's not profitable, are you sure about that?
Plus another 11 will be saved from law enforcement resources and incarcerations. That's 20 billion total every year. You saying this country don't need that kind of paper? Put it to his environment. Invest in education, infrastructure in conjunction with job creation. Or maybe a combination. Just stop laughing at the situation and give it serious consideration. It ain't a joke, ain't nothing funny. The country's broke and its people need money. It's simple economics. Listen, you did it, Bush did it, Clinton did it, Lincoln did it, and now you throw people in prison for this crime that we committed? Mr. President, if it's such a sin, then why don't you and the men I just named turn yourselves in?
But.
I beg your pardon?
Supposed crime would have been a better, that phrase would have been better than just the word on its own. But that's just a little nitpick.
See, I don't want to hear that circular logic. We ain't in that Oval Office. Let's be honest. If you got caught with marijuana the day you smoked, there wouldn't even be an Obama. No Barack at that prestigious college or Harvard getting his speeches polished with honors. Cause today, you can't get a student loan if caught with one weed cigarette. But you can have a rape conviction on your record and still get a check from the government. Yo, what the fuck is this? Do you not see injustice when it's people suffering sick, dying of cancer, whose only relief is a plant proven to ease pain? But that don't mean handcuffs. That don't mean being called a criminal. That don't mean thrown behind bars. Pitiful.
It's just a little observation, but I love the fact that the person is using a white sleeve while drawing on the whiteboard. That was such a nice little touch from the people behind the scenes of this video.
Mr. President, this ain't political, it's commonsensical. Millions in prison for something that's never killed a single individual. But you make deals with prescription drug advocates when just last year more Americans died from prescriptions in their cabinets than heroin, terrorism, murder, and traffic accidents combined. Mr. President, open your eyes and see the blood on the wall.
Are those statistics true? Can anybody verify that? That's insane. That's crazy.
These companies wouldn't care if the country was coming apart. They sharks, they only care about how much it'll cost. Ain't been a disease cured in 60 years. Why? Cause a patient cured is a customer lost. Well, I say enough is enough. It's time for us to fix this. It's time to get away from the pharmaceutical interests. Forget about the stigma. Forget the opinions of politicians. Cause collective ignorance don't mean wisdom. Forget about pain.
It's interesting that he's using a Hydra here to represent them. Because Maynard James Keenan of the band Tool, he has 3 bands in total. Tool, A Perfect Circle, and Pussifer. And he did a similar bit about that, using that exact same analogy. So that it's pretty on point.
To the system, cause when the system's wrong, sir, it's your duty to go against it. I urge you to reread that 9th Amendment and have courage and conviction and remember your commitment to the people. Cause what if it was Malia? What if she needed a drug that was illegal to survive? Will things change? Will they be a little different?
Bad ad placement. Very bad ad placement.
To survive, will things change? Will they be a little different? Will policy remain? Put yourself in that position. And nah, I'm not wishing that on you, just illustrating the consequences of this little plant situation. Cause a lot of politicians hate it, but I just broke it down. It's up to you to step up, sir. The time is now. I say the time is now. I hope you step up, sir. The time is now.
There's still time. Just a dream.
So believe it or not, before I wrote that song, I was...
Alright everyone, so if y'all want to go watch the full video, without my commentary over it, the channel's name is Prince Era, Why We Should Be Legal, featuring Barack Obama. Obviously an actor playing him. Nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all did, subscribe. Check out the next episode in this series. I'm going through most of the videos in my playlist that I've been working on for about 14 to 17 years. It has over 1,000 videos, so we'll be watching about 1,000 videos. We will be skipping some here and there, like live streams and whatnot. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed it, leave it a like, subscribe, and